Hi, it's Sue from Snake River Stamping. Welcome to my stamp room today. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I would just like to say if you don't have a catalog or if you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you with both of those things. Um, if you need help ordering, if you need help finding anything, please contact me. My information is in the description below me if you're on YouTube, and it's above me if you're watching on Facebook. Okay, my Facebook videos, because of Facebook, their policies only last for 30 days, and then they take them off. But on YouTube, my videos, they go on forever, So anyway, our new September catalog is live now. And if you're one of my customers, you should have received one. If you don't have one, just contact me and I'll get you a catalog. You can see them online if you don't mind looking online. You can open the online link that I have in my description, and you can look at all the catalogs online if you would like. But don't miss our online exclusives, because there are some very, very fabulous things that just came out on our online exclusives. If you will look at the tabs at the top and go to the menu tab and pull that down, that's where you'll find online exclusives. If you're looking for last chance items, things that are on sale or going out of use, they're not going to restock those items. The last chance sales are, again, go at the top and look under your specials tab, and you can find the last chance items. Okay. Let's see, catalogs, last chance. Oh, be sure when you start your online account that you opt in. There's a little box that says, do you want to opt in to to get information from Stampin' Up! And stuff. But basically that allows the demonstrator, me, to send you free catalogs and stuff. And it makes it really easy for me to do that. I just have to check the box next to your name because you've opted in, and they will send you things like free catalogs. So be sure and opt in, because it makes it easy for me and easy for you if you do that opt-in choice. Another thing I wanted to tell you about was World Card Making Day is October 4th this year, and Stampin' Up! Is hosting an event on October 4th from 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. And so if you live in the Pacific Northwest like I do, that would be 1 to 2 p.m. our time. Okay, so just adjust that for wherever you live, 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time. This is a free event, but you do have to register for it, and they will send you the links so that you can participate or just watch, whatever you want to do. So it's supposed to be kind of fun. I also want to tell you, if you're interested in the water painters that we've had in the past, those are back in stock, and you can order those. Paper Pumpkin. This is a pre-recorded video. In fact, this is the second time I'm trying to pre-record it, and because I don't know what I did last time, but it only pre-recorded 5 minutes of it, so I'm hoping to pre-record the entire thing this time. So Paper Pumpkin, you have to subscribe if you would like to participate by the 10th, so by September 10th. This is going to be put on YouTube and my Facebook page on Monday, September 8th. So you'll have 2 more days to think about Paper Pumpkin. It is a subscription. It's very, very flexible. If you want to pause it, if you want to cancel it, if you want to skip a month, any of those things. They make it very, very easy to do that. But it is, you sign up for a subscription and it just keeps coming to you. So you subscribe once and it just keeps going until you cancel it, pause it, whatever you want to do. So just a reminder about that. I'm going to show you what this paper pumpkin that's coming up in September looks like. So I'm going to point the camera down and show you a couple things before I get started. I'm going to keep my eye on this camera thing. Hopefully I keep recording this time. Okay, so paper pumpkin. This is what the paper pumpkin that will be coming if you subscribe by the 10th, which is Wednesday. This is the one you're going to get. And everything comes in the kit. And like these little cutouts, they're actually, you don't have to cut anything out. They're punch outs. And they're these little foxes. I don't know what else they have. They have these little acorns, and they actually match with the Fall for 12 set that we have in the catalog. And I've shared the Amber Autumn. I've shared some things about with Amber Autumn already on my videos, and I'll probably be sharing some of this Fall for 12 stuff too. This is really beautiful. But this is the one that's coming in September, but you need to subscribe by September 10th to get this, okay? This is just a reminder about the last chance products, and there's a lot of good sales in there. Remember, it's under your specials tab at the top, so go to the top of your menu and stuff, or that bar at the top, and look for specials tab, and you'll find last chance products under there. One of the things, we have new kits that, 2 new kits that came out this month, and this is one that really caught my eye because it's a nice little Christmas kit, and it's called Road to Christmas. And again, all these items are punch outable. They have the sticky dots in here. You might need some scissors, but pretty much everything comes pre-cut, ready to go, and it's very easy to make these card kits. And they come in a box like the paper pumpkin box. And I just thought this kit was so cute to watch for this one. Okay, my specials this month. For a $20 order, you start earning Stampin' Rewards always, and those are from Stampin' Up. You get 10% of every order, and you can save those up. You can use them on the next order. You can do whatever you want. For a $40 order, you start earning my card kits for this month, and I am featuring the beautiful Gathering Together Designer Series paper, and you still, of course, earn your Stampin' Rewards. So my card kits, you will get 4 of these. They're gonna use the Gathering Together paper, and they're gonna look something like this. Now, I can't stamp. I can cut for you. I can emboss for you, but I cannot cut, or I cannot stamp for you. You have to have your own ink. You have to have your own stamps, okay? So you have to do things on the inside, all right? So you will get 4 of these, all cut and ready to go. And it might be a variety, I don't know. You'll get at least 2 different sets, okay, on the card kits. All right. If I get a $50 order from you, you'll get the same card kits, and you'll get a PDF, which you don't get the card kit itself. You just get the explanation on how to make this card. I will email this to you, okay? And this is the card that it explains how to make and how to cut it, all the dimensions, the paper I use, and of course you can swap out any paper you want. But this is what's going to be coming in this PDF, a free PDF that comes to you. Okay. And you get your Stampin' Rewards. $75 order, you get the same card kits, the same PDF, and you get gems. And I have some fabulous gems. I have these low profile sparkle dots. And I have these 2025, 2027 in color flat pearls that I am sending out. Those are my gems that I have right now in my stash. Okay, and you get your Stampin' Rewards as usual. For $100 order, and remember, these are qualifying orders before tax, shipping, coupons, or redeemed Stampin' Rewards. Okay, so these are paid for orders. You get the card kits, the PDF, the gems, and I still have silicone mats. And I thought I had some in here. I do. And these are brand new silicone mats, and I'll send you a silicone mat. I use these all the time. I love these. Okay, so those are my specials for this month. Okay, and here are the dimensions I'm going to be sharing with you for today's card. I will not forget. Okay, I will not forget. I did want to share with you. Here they are. I can open the catalog now and share some things with you. I ordered this set, Christmas Greetings Mix and Match Specialty Cards and Envelopes. It's number 165908. I did not link this in my description, but I wanted to show you what this looks like. And you can just make all sorts of beautiful cards, because you can make this so easy. I mean, you probably have some cutouts and things, you know, from your own stuff. But you can get the Greetings and Mix and Match ephemera pack, which is all sentiments. You can get the ephemera pack that has these little punch out images. They show you how you might use them. They give you on this page, on page 14 in the catalog. Always look for the page that has this black and white stuff at the bottom, because they show you designs on how to lay out cards, tags, and then these are scrapbook pages down here, if you're a scrapbooker, how you might use those. Anyway, I ordered one of these card sets to see what they looked like this year, and they're fabulous. They come in green, and they come in kind of a crumb cake color, and then they have matching envelopes to go with them in the green and the crumb cake. I just put these in a bag to keep them together. Now, of course, you can use them as they come, like this, or you can cut them in half and get creative with them, and you can make twice as many. You know, you get 10 card bases and 10 envelopes, but you could turn this 10 cards into 20 cards, and then just use some plain envelopes on them, or decorate some envelopes with some of these. Anyway, I thought this was a great deal, great idea. This is on page 14 and 15 in your catalog. Don't overlook some of these smaller items. These are less expensive. They're really easy. They come in kits, and they're great. They're really great. And like that little truck thing that I just shared with you. Last week I shared with you these bridge cards. And if you didn't see this video on how to make these bridge cards, be sure to check this out. These are so, so cute. And they stand up for display, and they fold and they fit in an envelope. Okay, we made this one. Some of these are with new designer series paper, and some of them are with stuff I had from last year. So, you know, I told people last week, I said, you don't have to wait for the brand new order. You could just start making these right away, because I made some of mine, like this one, and this one, and this one. I made these out of paper from last year, using this bridge fold, you know. And so you get out your old stuff, and you can use these folds and make some things right away. So these bridge folds, these were fun. They weren't that hard, and they make super cute cards. And I shared all the measurements and everything last week. Be sure and check out that video. Okay, this is for this week. We are going to make, I think this is the one I shared on my video, or my Facebook page. And you can make this card two ways. You can make it the landscape way. Whoops, this is the landscape way, sorry. This is the landscape way, and it opens like this. Okay. Or you can make it the portrait way, and it opens like this. And we're going to make one today. We're going to do a portrait one. It's going to look very similar to this one. Because like I said, I've already made this video once today, so now I get to practice making it again. And then I have a couple more to show you that I made earlier. And I will share the directions with you. So here are our pieces and parts. And I'm going to get out my trimmer because I'm going to show you how to score this one. I've got probably too much stuff up here. Anyway, this is your card base. And the reason I chose Real Red was because, of course, I chose my designer series paper first, and it had Real Red in it. So on the directions, when you see real, I mean, you could change this up to be any color of card base you need to match the designer series paper you use. So your card base is going to be 5.5 by 10 3/4, and you are going to score it at 1 5/8 and 3 1/4 on each end, and you'll just flip it to do that. So I just put my card base in here, and I scored it at 1 5/8, and I parked my dark, and I used my light gray scoring blade, and I do 1 3/4, and then I slide it to 3 1/4, and I score it again, and then all I do is pull this out and flip it. So I have the other end, and I do the same thing. I do 1 5/8, and I score it, and I do 3 1/4, and I score it. Okay, so that's how I get the scores on here. And I know you can't see them very well right now, but when I start folding them, you'll be able to see them just fine. Okay, so that's pretty easy. So then we have some panels. Okay, we have my top panel. I need some more Real Red, and this is 3 by 3 3/4. And this is my top panel. It's going to go with this one. This is my pattern number 1. I'm calling it. Now, on the directions, I say pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3, because you need 3 different patterns to go on this card. And this is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2, and this will get attached right there. That'll be your top panel. Now your bottom panel, it's a little bit, it's taller, skinnier, or it's the same width, but it's taller. And this is DSP pattern number 2, and this is 2 3/4 inch wide also, but it's 4 1/2 inches long. And then underneath it, it's going to be 3 inches by 4 3/4 inches, and that's going to layer right on that. And these panels, this is top panel, that's bottom panel, they're going to lay on top of each other like that. And we'll put those together in a moment. Then pattern number 3, now on the card that I showed you, like on this one, I used some designer series paper back here from an older set, and I referenced it in my my description of where I got this. It was green and gold, but it had a different name, something green and gold. Anyway, I put that this time on this card. I just used white, and I embossed it with my snowflake embossing folder. I think you can kind of see that. So it's going to be embossed, and these are going to go on the outside right here. And these two are, this is either DSP pattern number 3, or it's just a plain color. It's 1 3/8 by 5 1/4. You need to cut 2 because they're going to go on the outside. So whatever pattern you decide, or if you want to do plain and emboss, or you could even do Real Red and emboss and just have tone on tone, and that would work also. So we're going to start, and we're just going to put on these little panels on the outside. And I am centering these top to bottom, side to side. I can see the score lines. I know you probably cannot see the score lines, but I can, and you'll be able to when you make this card. You'll be able to easily see the score lines. And you just center those top to bottom, side to side, so that they're on there like that. So then I'm going to set this to the side for a moment, because I'm going to work on the inside of my card. You just need a piece of basic white. Now on one of the cards, this card I showed you, I used very vanilla because that went with the colors that I used from the designer series paper. Was not white, it was very vanilla. So I used very vanilla on the inside of that card. So it kind of depends on your designer series paper. This one has white in it, so I'm using a white base. And I'm going to do a little technique here for you. We've got our Stampin' Pierce mat. And these are photopolymer stamps I'm going to be using. And I'm using traditional labels. And I'm going to use the Merry Christmas here on my traditional labels. And I'm going to use an image. Oops, things are falling. Whoops, whoops, whoops. And I'm going to use this flower image from Christmas Greenery that goes with this set, this suite. And I in my description, I reference the suite if you'd like the entire suite of products, and then I separated them out into each item that's in the suite, so you could kind of do a la carte if you want to order that way. You do save a little bit if you do bundles, and a bundle is stamps and dies. Okay, you save 10%, and you also save on suites if you order an entire suite. So I'm going to show you a couple things about both of these. Now on my card, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to put Merry on the outside and Christmas on the inside, but I'm going to do my flowers a little bit differently this time than I did on this card. I'm going to show you a different technique. And I am going to emboss the Merry for the outside. But this time, for my Merry, or my Christmas, excuse me, I'm putting Christmas on the inside. I'm using Real Red, and I'm going to stamp full strength with my Real Red. I'm going to get out a baby wipe because Real Red is kind of messy, and so I'm just going to get prepared to be messy right now. So I'm going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to put this in the middle. And hopefully my head's not in your way. And hopefully I'm getting this straight. I want that full strength. Oh, it's not exactly straight. Pretty good. It'll do. Okay. And red ink, you know, is going to stain your stamps, but just wipe it off, and the stamp is just fine. You can stamp it with a different color, and that red is not going to show through. It just stains the stamp, and it's no big deal. Okay. All right, now my technique. I'm also going to stamp the flowers, but I don't want the flowers to overtake my Christmas. So I'm going to stamp up my flowers. I'm going to ink up my flowers, and I'm going to stamp them off. And I'm going to use second generation stamping on this, and so that it's lighter and it looks like the flowers are behind. So I'm going to stamp off on my scrap paper here. So now this is going to stamp lighter because I've stamped off and I don't have as much ink on it. I'm going to stamp right on top of Christmas, and it's going to look like it's very light. It's almost pink. Can you see that? It's very light, and it looks like it's behind Christmas, but you can still see those flowers. And I think that's kind of pretty. So in the other one, I did stamp full strength, but I just stamped in the corner. You know, that's another way to do it. You know, it's your card. You do what you like, you know, to make your card look the way you want it to look. And that's one of the great things I love about card making is there's so many different ways to do things and make things look individualized. And I should close up this red stamp before I stick my fingers. I've probably got red ink all over me already. Just wipe my hands just in case. So before I go any further with my card, I am going to stick my inside my card, and then, oops, what's going on here? Get the other one. Okay. I know that one's been kind of messing up lately. I don't know what I probably did it wrong. Okay, so this is going to be a portrait card, and I see my lines, so I'm centering top to bottom, side to side, and I'm putting my inside of my card in there like that. So now I can start folding. I can take my Stampin' Pierce mat out, and I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And I really want this card to stay closed. And so I'm going to really crease these folds, but I'm going to actually crease them going both ways because I want to break the fibers down. So I'm folding it first the way I want it to go, but then I'm going to fold it the other direction just to break the fibers down a little bit more, okay? And then I'm going to fold it back, and it should, when I put those other pieces on, it should stay a little better. It's kind of, the cardstock's kind of, the colored cardstock's kind of thick. Okay. So, see, that's the way I want it to be, all right? So I'm going to set that to the side for a moment. And set that over there. All right, so now my patterned paper, okay? DSP pattern 1 and real red top panel go together. So I just take this, put my glue on, brand new glue bottle, so it should be coming out. Okay, see, I want this to go this way, so I'm center that on there. Okay, that's my top panel. DSP pattern 2, this is my bottom panel. These two fit together. And I just put that on there, like that. Okay. So I want this bottom panel and this top panel to fit something like this, because the top panel needs to fit under the bottom panel. So I'm going to be using a big block on this to weigh it down while we do some embossing with some heat embossing. So I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on this side because it's harder for this one to stay down. Okay. I'm just going to lay that on there for now. Now this side, I'm going to put it on the right side, and I'm not going to put as much glue because because the other piece is going to fit underneath it. So like that. Okay. And I'm going to center that. I'm going to try to do a better job centering that, but I don't want it to stick to that other piece. I just want it to stick to the white. So, there we go. There. Okay, I'm gonna put the block on this and just set it over here to the side for a moment, because I just need a real red scrap here, and we're gonna do some heat embossing. So I'm gonna bring my scrap of paper back in here, and we had Christmas on the inside, so we're gonna put Mary on the outside in gold. So we have Mary on the block, we have some Versamark, we have some Wow embossing powder, and we have, I keep mine in this little red thing as I hang it up here. We have this little embossing dusting powder stuff that helps keep fingerprints and all the things you don't want to stick to this paper. And we're going to use a microfiber cloth to wipe it off after we have heat embossed it. So I just keep mine in this little red bag I got from Amazon, and stick it up here so I can hopefully keep track of it. You know, you never know. Another good thing to help keep track of it is these reverse tweezers, because when you're heat embossing, it gets really hot. So this is a glue, clear glue, and we're going to ink this up like super good, super good. You put some on here, and then you put a little bit more on here, and you make sure none's on the block. Okay. And the reason I'm gonna stamp first and emboss, and then I'm gonna cut, because if I don't stamp straight, I don't want to waste all this embossing time. It's easier to cut around it. Oh, not good. I got some in the middle. Yep, gonna try it over. Never mind. Now I need this again. I got some in the middle. I don't know if you can see that, but in the middle of those M's and stuff, that would pick it up. So that's not good. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try to do a better job. And if I don't, I already have one that I showed you, but I will still demonstrate. And hopefully this one will go a little bit better. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to press quite as hard, but firmly, even pressure. Okay, that one turned out. I don't see any strays on that one. Do you see it? Okay. So, wipe that off. Wipe my fingers off. Put my little powder thing away. Close my embossing, my Versamark, so nothing gets in there. And now I liberally sprinkle embossing powder, because I'm not really using that much, because I'm going to put a lot of it back in the jar. You've probably seen people do this before. It's like magic. I tap it off. You see it's on there. Now it's not permanent. If I brushed a finger or something on it, it would come off. It is not, even though that embossing Versamark's on there, it would come right off. So you got to be careful. I'm going to lay that to the side. I want to put this powder back in the jar. You see, I hardly used any. I don't know where that red thread came from, but it can go away right now. Okay. And I'm going to close this jar because, again, I'm going to be blowing with a heat tool. This is where my reverse tweezers come in handy. I'm going to put these over here so I can hold it. And Get my heat tool out. It's kind of noisy for a minute. I'm going to let it heat up for just a minute. And it goes really pretty quickly. It will turn from this to shiny in a very short order. I'm going to just run the heat tool, moving it slowly over here, because I don't want to burn any one part of it, but I do want to melt that powder. And you can see it getting shiny. Looks beautiful. Yep. Okay, that's it. That is it. It is all shiny. Now you see the powder back there. Well, now I can take my microfiber cloth, and you can do it with a paper towel or something, but the paper towel sometimes will leave fibers. But a microfiber cloth will take that powder off really nicely, and now your Mary, or whatever you've stamped, is permanent. And you can wipe off all the white powder. And then in this set, I wanted a small die, so I just put this die on there, ran it through my cut and emboss machine. Okay, I'm not going to do that because it shakes the table and makes everybody a little seasick. So I have my Mary already, and I go back to my card. Oh, perfect. It's all dry. Everything's working, nothing glued together that I didn't want to glue together. So these fit together just like that. Isn't it perfect? This stands up for display. Okay, so I'm gonna take, this is the only thing I'm gonna put dimensionals on this whole card, which I know is just unbelievable for me because I like to dimensionalize everything. And I'm gonna put 3 dimensionals on here to support it. I'm going to put them towards the bottom because I think, well, no, I like that poinsettia that's at the bottom. I think I like this really big poinsettia right here. So actually on this one, I think I'm going to put this one at the top because I want that big poinsettia to show. Put my Mary, and they open the card and it says Christmas, and I have the flowers behind it. Merry Christmas. And I have those panels in the back that are can you see they're embossed? Can you see that? The embossing, it's kind of hard to see, but you certainly can see all the gold on this beautiful, beautiful paper. I just love this paper. I just ordered another package of it. So here are the dimensions. I shared those with you as we were going along, but here they are typed up if you want to take a screenshot or just stop the video when you're watching it. So we made this card today, and I made this card the other day, and this is the one that goes the other direction, it goes landscape. And then I made a couple others. I made, of course, that other one I showed you that looks pretty much like this one. This is the first one I made. I was going to tell you, I cased this card from Karen Titus. She made a totally different card. It was more like this one, you know, it was just like a birthday card or something. And I thought, oh, you know what, that would make a really nice Christmas card. So this was the first one I made. You know, it was just a plain card. That was my practice one. And I used the two-tone paper, and I embossed it, and then I, you know, scratched it off with one of these nail things. You know, I just rubbed that over there. I think we've talked about that before, and you've probably seen a lot of people do that. And then I embossed the background on that one. Then I made this. This is another Christmas one with Christmas paper from last year. And I just love this paper, and I did that same technique with stamping the sentiment and then stamping the flowers very lightly right behind, it looks like it's behind the sentiment, but I actually stamp the sentiment first and stamp the flowers second. And doing that stamping off technique so you get second generation, it's a very light stamp. It's really attractive, I think, to do that. And I use the same Christmas, but I use the small Mary from that set, because in this set, they, you know, I use the big Merry Christmas on the one I did today, but then there's a small Mary that goes with Christmas, and you can mix and match things as you with this one. It's traditional labels. I really like this set. So I used Merry Christmas, and then this was kind of a non-traditional card. You know, it's not red, it's not green, it's blue, and I like it. I love this paper because you can use it for Christmas, but you can also use it for other times of the year. You know, I've used it for birthdays and different things like that. It's really a nice paper. But it is from last year, and they don't have it anymore. It's retired. So anyway, so here's your dimensions again. Now I have it listed as real red because that's what I use today. Now you would switch that out depending on the designer series paper that you choose. You would pick paper, you would pick cardstock that goes with whatever your designer series paper is. You know, I hope you would want to get some of this Traditions of Christmas. I love this paper. It's beautiful with the gold in it, and I think you would really like it. So I did real red, and I have all my dimensions written down here. And then the basic white was the inside. Then I said pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. So this was pattern 1 for the top panel. This was pattern 2 for the bottom panel. And then pattern 3 on the other card, I used Season of Green and Gold for this one, because that had some gold in it that I brought in. But on this card, I just used white cardstock for pattern 3, and I embossed it to make it a little fancier, you know. And so that was pattern 3. So you need 3 different but coordinating patterns. So go ahead and take a screenshot of that. Okay, I was going to share with you, quit hitting my table, next week, it's really exciting, next week we are going to do another Christmas card, and we're going to be using Delicate Pines. Not that I don't have like a lot of snowflakes, but these are so beautiful, I just had to have them. So this is a bundle, and it comes with stamps, and it comes with dies in the bundle. And I got the whole suite, I think I did, yeah, because it comes with, the suite comes with ribbon that's green with gold edging. And it also comes with this beautiful paper. It's called Elegant Pines and Snowflakes. And I liked it because, again, it's not real traditional. I mean, you don't think snowflake patterns in greens, but aren't these beautiful? The background is Secret Sea, that really dark, almost black Secret Sea. So you get 2 of each. And then, of course, the back has a different pattern. Okay, so there's that pattern. There's this little pine cone pattern. I thought it was so cute with little snowflakes on it, and that's the back of that one. Really cute. That's the cardboard backing. Lovely. There's this pattern with little pines and holly berries and things, and that's the back with big snowflakes on it. It's really pretty. And I thought this was very nice. I love that pattern. And that's the back of that. And then there's this pattern. And that's the back of that. Looks like pretty peacock on the back to me. And then this is the last one, and it's really big. And if you're a scrapbooker, I can certainly see this pattern in a scrapbook because it's so big. I mean, you can cut this up and make it into cards too, which is probably, I mean, I used a scrapbook, but I don't anymore. That's the back of that. But it's just beautiful. You might make a center card. You might cut. I usually take at least one piece of each piece of my DSP, you know, because there's usually two, and I will cut it into 4-inch strips because they're always 12 by 12. So either you can either divide it by 3 or 4, and I do 4. So I get 3 4-inch strips out of it. But I would probably cut this one really strategically to get that out of it. But anyway, that's what we're going to be working on next week. I hope you look forward to that. I have been planning the cards that I'm going to be doing now. I'm hoping my husband and I are going to be out of town next week. He's having his heart surgery next week in Spokane, so we're going to be out of town. But I will be working hard on this. So, you know, fingers crossed that I get everything done that I'm hoping to get done next week. But I'm really looking forward to this Delicate Pines and the paper that goes with it, because it's just beautiful, and I've seen some really beautiful things done with it. So I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing you again. I would like to thank everybody that has sent me text messages and cards and things about my husband. He's doing like super good about this. Usually he's, you know, a little bit in panic mode when something like this comes along for him. He's much better at supporting me when I have something going wrong, but you know, he's like super at taking care of me. But of course now it's my turn to take care of him. You know, he broke his hip in April, and he's pretty much healed up from that and done really, really well. And he's ready to tackle this heart thing because it's pretty serious. It's something that could take his life if it wasn't dealt with. And we're really thankful that the surgeons in Spokane found it when they did, and we feel like it's in the nick of time. So we're thankful that it's going to get done. He's ready to get it fixed, and I certainly appreciate the support from my friends, my card making friends, my personal friends, of all the things that I've heard from you, and I really do appreciate that. And I hope that next week I will be able to come back on Monday. If not, I'll put something on Facebook if I have to postpone it to maybe later in the week. We'll see. But I'm excited to do that. The cards with that set, because I think it's just beautiful. The paper is beautiful. The stamps are beautiful. So see you hopefully next Monday. All right. Thank you for being with me today.